a local success story, employing hundreds in our region, showcasing each and every day the quality, the craftsmanship that is second to none right here in Windsor. I appreciate all this organization has done over the years to position Windsor as industry leaders. Back to the day, in fact, that Mike Soltz started this company. It's not always been easy, but nothing ever is. And just as running a successful business can be a challenge, there's no doubt that government and politics can be a challenge too, especially in the last few years with the onset of the global pandemic. I can speak from personal experience. It has been an exceptionally difficult time for elected officials and public servants, and I can only imagine the difficulties that the province has faced over this time as well. While it's easy to criticize and to second-guess, it is so much more difficult to lead, to make the important decisions that balance public health with economic well-being. And Premier, I want to acknowledge the toll that these past 2 years must have taken on you, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for guiding our province through the pandemic with such honesty, with such candor, and with such resilience. I also want to... Absolutely. I also want to thank Doug Ford and his team for all that they've done for the City of Windsor and for Windsor-Essex, our entire region, over the past 4 years. There are shovels in the ground as we speak, twinning Highway 3 in the County of Essex. We have finally received, at long last, a commitment to the new Regional Acute Care Hospital. Windsor will soon be home, and you should be really happy about this, folks. Windsor will soon be home to the massive, game-changing $5 billion EV battery production facility, creating over 2,500 great local jobs. And if that's not enough, just support the proposed LG Chem facility that has been in the news recently. Energy will not be the limiting factor for that facility, and I'm thrilled to announce that as a result of the work that the province has done over the past few weeks. Now, as local residents know, I recently launched our municipal platform for Windsor, those 5 key priorities that we're advancing across all political parties running in this campaign. And I'm happy to say that our local candidates have agreed to support the platform for Windsor and would work to deliver on these local needs when elected. Finally, as part of this election campaign, I know that residents in Windsor-Essex have some choices to make. And with several ridings lacking incumbents, more interesting and competitive local races are underway. So let me be clear. Windsorites deserve to have seats at the table. We deserve to have solid voices advocating each and every day for the things we need and for the things that we deserve. Our community has a tradition of electing strong, independent-minded, and passionate advocates across all political stripes, and we can see the difference that it makes having a seat at the table. So I'm pleased today to offer my endorsement for Doug Ford's re-election as Premier. And I would go... And I'll go one step further, and I will...
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone, and I want to thank you, Mayor Dilkens, for that introduction and that endorsement. Before I start off, I want to thank the folks from the line here. Everyone tells me they're the best and the brightest, and you are the best and the brightest, so thank you so much, everyone. It's greatly appreciated. Whether it's building a new state-of-the-art hospital, which we're going to be over there this afternoon, or bringing good auto jobs back to the region, together we're delivering real results for the people of Windsor. And before we begin, I want to thank again Mayor Dilkens for putting forward his platform for Windsor. When you listen to people like Mayor Dilkens and his council who understand the needs of their communities, that's where you get the best ideas. Platform for Windsor includes solutions to some of Windsor's most pressing issues, including bringing more good jobs to the region and building the infrastructure needed to support more growth. I couldn't be more excited to work with the Mayor to help deliver on this ambitious plan, so we're there with you, Mayor, and we'll get it done. And look forward to getting it done with a re-elected PC government and a great team of newly elected Windsor area MPPs, because for far, far too long, this community has not had a strong voice at Queen's Park. Friends, I'm thrilled to be here at Valiant TMS. The people here and the work they do is an amazing example of how Ontario talent and Ontario technology are building a new auto sector right here in Windsor and across the province. I also want to give a shout out to our amazing candidate from Windsor West. John, thank you for all the hard work that you're doing, and you've been knocking on the doors out there and really getting in front of people and talking about the needs of their communities. We're seeing real momentum here in Windsor, Essex. People here are excited. Together, we're tackling the hardest problems and delivering real solutions. That means keeping costs down for Ontario families and putting more money back into your pockets. It means working for workers as we get more people into the skilled trades. It means keeping our province and economy open today and in the future. And it means rebuilding Ontario's economy with better jobs and bigger paychecks. We're seeing new energy, new jobs, new opportunities all across Ontario's auto sector, especially right here in Windsor. It was just 2 short months ago that I was proud to be in Windsor with Mayor Dilkens to announce the largest ever auto manufacturing investment in Canadian history. LG Energy Solutions and Stellantis are investing more than $5 billion. I repeat, $5 billion to manufacture batteries for electric vehicles right here. This investment will create 2,500 new direct jobs and countless more across the supply chain. They always say 7 to 1. While this investment was historic, it was not alone. In less than 2 years, in only 18 months, we've secured $14 billion in new investments. We're breathing new life into Ontario's auto sector and returning to our rightful place as a manufacturing powerhouse. The number and size of investments is absolutely incredible. So here we go, folks. It's $1.8 billion from Ford Motor Company to produce 5 new EV models at its Oakville Assembly Complex, as well as the installation of a battery pack assembly line. $2 billion from General Motors to upgrade the company's Oshawa and Ingersoll manufacturing facilities to deliver company's next generation of vehicles. $1.4 billion from Honda to upgrade and retool its plant in Alliston to manufacture hybrid vehicles. $3.6 billion from Stellantis to retool and modernize its assembly plants in Brampton and Windsor to produce electric vehicles and establish 2 new research and development centers focused on electric vehicles and battery technology. None of these investments would have been possible without the cooperation among all 3 levels of government. Because of these investments, Windsor's economy will grow rapidly, and so too will demand for clean, reliable, made-in-Ontario electricity. Total demand in southwestern Ontario will more than double in the next 5 years. To support this unprecedented growth, to ensure nothing stops additional investments, I'm here to announce that our PC government is fast-tracking the development of more than $1 billion worth of hydro infrastructure, including 5 new electricity transmission projects to power southwestern Ontario's growing economy, with 3 of them already in development. We will stop at nothing to build the necessary infrastructure to support these investments. My friends, this is what getting it done looks like. But let me remind the folks here in Windsor and across Ontario that the Del Duca Wynne Liberals gave up on manufacturers. In fact, in 2017, they released a report that said they would be, and I'm going to quote this, shifting employment from goods-producing industries, in particular manufacturing, to service-producing industries, end quote. They gave up on manufacturing jobs and workers here in Windsor, Essex, throughout southwestern Ontario, and across the province. They stood by and watched 300,000 manufacturing jobs leave the province. And I'm just going to compare that. They lost 300,000 jobs. As we stand now, there's 550,000 new jobs in Ontario, with 338,000 waiting for people to fill the jobs. And as for the NDP, Andrea Horwath has given up on workers. They opposed our plan to reopen the auto sector and bring good manufacturing jobs back to Ontario. They say no to jobs, we say yes to jobs. And no, they say no to building, we say yes to building. They would be an economic disaster for Ontario. We cannot let the Liberals take us back. We cannot let the NDP hold us back. While they say no, we're saying yes. Here in Windsor, Essex, we are saying yes to twinning Highway 3 between Leamington and Essex, yes to building the new state-of-the-art Windsor-Essex Regional Hospital. We're saying yes to expanding access to high-speed internet and natural gas, yes to building 1.5 million homes across Ontario, and we're saying yes to keeping costs down by lowering gas taxes and cancelling the license plate sticker tax. Make no mistake, Ontario's best days are still ahead, including right here in Windsor, Essex. But it's up to each and every one of us. It's up to each and every one of us to roll up our sleeves to get the work done. And folks, this is the choice we face on June the 2nd. It's a very clear choice. If you want excuses, if you want more delays and more empty talk, well, you have a lot of options in this election. But if you want to get it done, you have one choice, the Ontario PCs. We're ready to get it done. Friends, we have the team, we have the vision, and we have the plan. So on June the 2nd, everybody, let's do it. Let's get it done. Thank you, and God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
Questions at the mic, so anyone who has a question, please line up over here. It's one question, one follow-up. We'll take the first question.
Hi, Mr. Ford. Andy Takagi with Queen's Park Briefing.
Hi.
Tens of thousands of construction workers across the province are on strike. You've positioned yourself as pro-construction,
Yes.
you know, getting it done. You're standing
Sure.
in front of a sign that says "Get it done."
Yep.
Yes or no? Will you legislate a return to work if the strike continues?
Well, let's see how they work things out. These always get resolved, and I'm a strong believer letting the folks work it out. I'm confident they're going to work it out with the contractors and the unions. We have some of the best workers anywhere right here in Ontario. You know, and I just compare ourselves to the Liberals or NDP. They say no to every single construction site. I'm down at Queen's Park. It's a no, no, no. They vote against it every single time. We're saying yes. We're going to get it done. We're going to continue working with the construction trade, and we're going to end up getting the deal done. And it's not even really our deal. But anyways, they're going to get it done.
I'll take that as a not ruling it out. You said yesterday that you didn't know about the MPP allowances until the news broke.
Yep.
When did you find out, and how did you, as PC leader, not know what was going on in your own party?
Well, I'm assured that there was no rules broken. Nothing was broken. But what I'd like to do, first of all, I wasn't too happy when I heard about it. But their expenses were audited independently. They went to elections in Ontario and audited and approved, but I don't like the rules. As simple as that. And it's not just the rules for us, it's the rules for all the parties. So we're going to sit down on June the 2nd, and I'm going to review the rules and change them.
Hi there, Lisa Shing from CBC.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Just on the fact that you're campaigning pretty hard in a region that's voted NDP for a very long time, presumably because the voters here think the NDP is the real party that can support working people. So do you really think voters are going to abandon the NDP this time around?
I truly believe so. The whole land is shifted right now. You know, when I'm down, and no disrespect to the NDP, I couldn't even tell you who the MPPs are because they never speak down there. They have no, Windsor has no voice down there. Do you know who their acting MPP is? Is Mayor Dilkens. He's wearing two hats. He's wearing the mayor and he's wearing the MPP's hat. But with quality people like John and our other candidates, people realize, and we've delivered results. I'll tell you right now, there's no jurisdiction in all of Ontario that has received more love, more support from a government than we did. For decades, as the people behind me know, they had the representatives from the NDP and Liberals. Was there ever a hospital? No, they kept delaying it. Was there any investment in the auto sector? No, to the opposite. They chased auto sector right out of the province. Now we have a thriving auto sector with $14 billion investment, jobs, and we're building new housing. And what goes along with that? Not only the new hospital, but new schools. We invested $90 million in 3 schools. We're building new roads. We're building, twinning the highway. We're building a new bridge. So that's what comes along with investments. And I'm just asking the people of Windsor, you know, for probably 80 years, you've seen what's happened under the NDP, and that is nothing. Give us one shot. We have shown the people of Windsor, again, more love, more support than any government in the history of this province. We're going to continue to make sure this area thrives and grows and prospers, the likes of which this area has never seen ever, absolutely ever. So to answer your question, yes, I believe the people will vote in a PC government down here because we need a voice down there. You know something? I love Mayor Dilkens. Make no mistake about it. You got one of the best mayors in the whole province, but he can't be he can't be doing the double hatter. He can't be the MPP for 3 or 4 regions and the mayor. We need a strong voice, and you will be heard as we've heard you over the last 3 to 4 years.
Just pivoting a little bit, Doug, the weather is getting nicer. People are presumably going to go and enjoy a alcoholic beverage in parks this summer. A few years ago, you allowed municipalities to have the choice to make that possible. But recently, Toronto has shot it down again. Do you think cities should allow drinking in parks?
That's going to be up to the municipalities depending on where they are. What's good for Windsor may not be good for Toronto. That may not be good for North Bay. That's up to the municipalities. You know, I walked a mile in their shoes. I understand it. I believe in working collaboratively with the municipalities and all 444 of them, which we did throughout the pandemic. I'm blessed to have 444 of the greatest mayors and wardens to work with. We have a phenomenal relationship. And no one understands their communities, no one does, better than the mayors and the councillors who represent the people. And I just look forward to working with them and listening to them.
Hi, Nusheen Ziafati with the Canadian Press.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So couldn't you have already had more power generation if you hadn't canceled hundreds of green energy contracts?
Oh boy, thank you for lobballing that question into me. That was the green energy scam, as I call it. The reason companies were leaving in the droves, absolutely in the droves, because you know they went to all their buddies, the previous government, and they put all the solar panels and the wind turbines, and guess what? They had a contract for 80 cents. Folks behind me, I want to ask you something. You go into a store and there's one product worth 80 cents per kilowatt, and by the way, everyone was paying for it. And there's another product of clean energy, clean nuclear energy, and by the way, we have 96% clean energy here in the province, at about 7 or 8 cents. So they were gouging us. There's never been a larger transfer of wealth from the political insiders against the ratepayers, which are the people in the history of this province. the biggest scam I've ever seen. We're getting clean energy. We believe in a strong, clean environment. That's why we're investing billions of dollars into electric vehicles. We're investing a huge amount in Dofasco, hundreds of millions of dollars actually. They're running on coal. That's like taking 1 million cars off the road. We're changing that over to electric arc furnace. The same with Sault Ste. Marie. We're doing the exact same thing up there on their steel plant and with Algoma. But we're going to continue focusing on the environment. But you can do that and create good jobs and have a clean environment too. We are going to be the capital of electric vehicles in North America because of our investment. But you don't scam people and take money right out of their pockets. That's unacceptable.
So both the NDP and Liberals are proposing 4-day workweek pilot projects. Is that something you would be open to looking at as well, or would you have any concerns about those proposals?
I don't get involved in the private sector. That's going to be up to them. There's companies. I know before I was in politics, we used to run four 12s, and then on the weekends people work three 12s. I'm sorry, 4 10s and then 3 12s on the weekend. But I'm not going to dictate to the companies what works best for them. It's up to them to tell us that they're going to be working 4 10s or 3 12s or whatever the makeup is.
Hi, this is Elvis Nwemsi from Radio Canada.
Hi.
Mr. Ford, the Liberals are circulating a video of Parham Gills from 2015 where he said he got into politics to fight same-sex marriage. What is your reaction?
You know, Parham Gill is an outstanding minister. He's working hard for the people of Milton. And, you know, that's the first time I've heard of it, so I can't comment on that. But I can tell you one thing. He represents the people of Milton. He's a great minister, and I look forward to him moving forward with our government.
Okay, I don't know if you remember, but a couple of months ago I asked you this question, so I'm coming back with the same question. You promised in 2018, where you promised to learn French. Yep. You have not. Do you promise to learn French if you are re-elected?
Well, I'll be full disclosure. I was taking French lessons right up to, you know, even some parts where we were able to gather in the pandemic. I'm committed to learn French. We have 600,000 Francophone Ontarians living right here. I support them. And we're the only government that's actually dedicated to French universities. We're the only government that went with a Francophone economic strategy. So we've given the Francophone Ontarians more love than they've ever seen. And I support them 100%, and I'll continue to learn French.
Hi, Maureen with Blackburn News.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi. You made some promises here about fast-tracking some transmission lines. What exactly does that mean? What assurances can companies have that it's going to be here if they choose to build their companies here?
So we have the 3 transmission lines moving forward in a rapid fashion, and that's going to be able to handle all the electricity needs that are needed in southwestern Ontario. But we have 2 more ready to go. As soon as we see the peak, we'll get it done. And we'll make sure that we have enough electricity to support any company that wants to open up here.
Next question.
Hi there, it's Jennifer from CBC Windsor.
Hi, Jennifer.
Can you share just a few more details on how and why Windsor went from being unable to support the LG Chem plant to now being able to bring it online?
Well, because we sat down with our team and got creative, and, you know, we always believe in surrounding ourselves with some of the brightest people, no matter if it's the auto sector, the energy sector, and we came up with a solution. And the solution is real, it's going to happen. Because we're seeing endless companies come to Ontario. We've created an environment for companies to thrive and prosper. We've taken $7 billion of burden off the backs of companies to make sure we're competitive. Because right now, we aren't competing against the people down the street any longer. We're competing against Europe, the United States, over in Asia, everywhere in the world. And the previous government made us uncompetitive. As one of the auto CEOs said to the previous Premier, Kathleen Wynne, you have created the worst environment for any company to invest in Ontario, and by the way, we're out of here, see you later. It's the total opposite now. we're getting calls every single day from companies around the world, especially the battery companies and other companies saying, we want to invest in Ontario. It's a great climate, and I always tell them the door is open, we're there to support you, and we'll make it happen. But that only happens with the collaboration of the federal, provincial, and municipal governments and the communities. And there hasn't been a stronger community to support the growth here than the people that live here in Windsor. And that's why, once again, I got to stress this, folks, we need a voice down at Queen's Park for the people of Windsor. I just can't emphasize it enough. Right now, everything's happening in Windsor. There has been absolutely no voice. I haven't even heard a squeak out of whoever represents you down here, because I don't even know their names. We need strong representation here in Windsor.
How will your government ensure that Windsor and southwestern Ontario is really ahead of the game, so to say, next time, so that this sort of loss of an opportunity that initially happened doesn't happen again?
I don't think any loss. All I've been seeing is gains. So I guess there was some rumor mill that they didn't have electricity. We ended up getting the electricity that we needed. So we're going to move forward on it. I think all there is has been gains here, no matter if it's the hospital or the highways or the LG investment or the Stellantis investment, LG Chemicals, all of them. We welcome them. And we'll make sure doing business here in Ontario is easy.
Welcome back to Windsor. Bob Belichico, CTV News. Just following up on Jennifer here. It was to my understanding that this was pretty much off the table with LG Chem. Was there a sense of urgency on your part, on the province's part, to clear the waters on what truly was happening and that energy wasn't the problem?
Well, I think we've created that environment. Once again, people are flooding here. Just look what we've done in 18 short months. We went from inheriting a province that lost 300,000 jobs, mostly the auto sector, to $14 billion of investment in 18 months, and billions and billions of dollars more around the world are coming to Ontario. They look at the supply chain. It starts in the north at the critical mineral strategy, and we have more critical minerals than anywhere in the world right here in Ontario. So we're going to unleash the critical mineral strategy. It's flowing down through Hamilton and through Algoma with the electric arc furnaces. I call it green steel, and it's flowing all through the auto sector, and no one's benefiting more than Windsor. Windsor's going to benefit more than anyone out there, and I always say it's a partnership, the supply chain. You know, the North couldn't exist without the South, and the South can't exist without the North. That's what makes Ontario great. We're all working together.
Good morning, Rob Hindi from AM 800. Just wondering if you talked to Mayor Dilkens about the EC Road Expressway. If your party is elected, will the province upload it, take it over?
Well, I'm always in support what Mayor Dilkens has done in the past and in the future. I'll be supportive of Mayor Dilkens and his plan to get Windsor moving forward. You know, again, I'm going to go back, and I don't say this at every town I go to. Folks, you have the best mayor in Ontario. The guy's great. He has really moved things forward. The LG investment wouldn't happen without him. Stellantis wouldn't happen without him. The hospital wouldn't happen without him. Twinning Highway 3 wouldn't happen without him. The guy's a champion. So I look forward to working with him and bringing prosperity to Windsor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Working hard every day, we got the heart to find a way. Nobody said it was an easy road, and we won't stop. We don't ever fold. We got big, big dreams, so you gotta believe in some.